Hello everyone, welcome to the tutorial on Kafka with Spring Boot. As you know, Spring Boot is a heavily used framework for developing microservices, and Kafka is a distributed system for publishing and subscribing stream of records. In its very simplest form, Kafka has a broker which hosts topics, and it has a producer which produces messages and sends them to the topic. Then we have a consumer which consumes those messages and processes them. In this example, we are going to develop a producer with Spring Boot, and we are going to start a Kafka consumer. We are not going to build a consumer with Spring Boot for the sake of simplicity. We'll take a step-by-step approach and build a production-grade application. The producer application. We'll have to first go to the Spring initializer page. In the group ID section, let's give the group ID as com.kafka demo, and the artifact ID is producer. You would need a Kafka dependency and a web dependency, and then hit the generate button. Open up the application in IntelliJ IDEA, and then open the pom.xml file. In the pom.xml file, you see a Spring Kafka dependency. This will help us build Kafka Producer, and then we have a web dependency. This will help us build REST controllers. We also have Spring Starter Test and Kafka Test dependencies, but we'll ignore them for now. Moving on, we'll have to create controller, config, and service packages inside our producer package. So let's start with the controller package. Now we have created config, controller, and service packages inside this producer package. Let's have a look at the config package. Inside the config, we have created 3 configuration classes. Let's have a look at the Kafka Producer config. Here you see we have defined a Kafka template bean. Kafka template is very much similar to REST template. Just like REST template is used to make REST calls, Kafka template is used to push messages to the topics. In order to push messages to the topics, Kafka template needs to know the Kafka broker address, and that information comes from the producer factory. In the producer factory, we define the broker address and the key and value serialization classes. Moving on to Kafka topic config. Inside Kafka topic config, we have defined a Kafka admin bean. The purpose of Kafka admin is to create Kafka topics on Kafka broker. In order to do that, we have to provide Kafka broker address to the admin. For any bean definition that returns a new topic object, Kafka admin is going to create a topic on the broker. For the sake of simplicity, I'm going to refer Kafka broker as broker. Let's start the application and verify if our configuration is creating topics on the broker. However, before doing that, we'll have to start the broker. Let's do that. Before starting the broker, we need to start Zookeeper server. Zookeeper server maintains and manages Kafka broker instances. Once Zookeeper is up and running, you can start your Kafka broker. This will start Kafka broker on port 9092. Since our Kafka broker is up and running, we can verify if there is any existing topic on that broker or not. In this command, we are asking to list all the topics on a broker that is running on port 9092. Now we see that as of now there is no topic listed over here. Let's start the application. Just before that, in the application.yml file, I have given Kafka bootstrap address as localhost 1992, as this address is being used in producer config and Kafka topic config. Let's run this. And I'm starting this application on port 8082. Alrighty, let's hit run. Now the application has started. Let's see if it has created any topic for us. Let's run this command again. And you see, the first topic has been created by our application. Now, since the first topic has been created on the broker by our application, let's have a look at the service, controller, and the Swagger configuration. First, the producer service. In the producer service, we have injected the Kafka template, and this Kafka template object is sending the message to the first topic. Remember, we have just created this first topic inside our Kafka topic configuration, and now we are using Kafka template to send message to this topic. Kafka will be sending message to this topic based on certain information, and that information is about the broker. That broker information is given over here in the Kafka template. So when we have created this Kafka template bean, we have given it the producer factory configuration, and that producer factory configuration contains the bootstrap address. That is nothing but the Kafka broker address. Let's have a look at the Kafka demo controller. The Kafka demo controller is a very simple REST controller. We have mapped it to the demo path and injected the producer service instance. We're calling the send message method on this producer service instance and passing the message that we are getting from the client, the REST client. Let's have a look at the final piece of the code, and that is Swagger configuration. Swagger acts as a REST client which exposes all controller methods. In order to create a Swagger configuration, just add enable Swagger to annotation and define a bean that returns docket instance. In the docket instance, set the API as provide the base package inside the APIs, and the base package for our controllers is com.kafkademo.producer.controller. Provide the paths that you want to expose for Swagger UI, and in our case we have just exposed demo path. You see, we have just mapped only demo over here. Since our application server is up and running, let's have a look at the Swagger UI. On Swagger UI, you can see that our controller is up and running and the path is exposed. Now you can use Swagger to make a REST call. In this case, our REST call is a post call. So let's try it out. Let's execute this call. Now we have sent our first message to the topic that is hosted on the Kafka broker. Let's have a look. Now since our Zookeeper is up and running, or Kafka is up and running, or message has been sent to the Kafka topic, our topic is also available. However, there is no consumer that can consume the message from this topic. So let's start a Kafka consumer that can consume the messages from this topic. Now, if we look at this command, we are starting a Kafka console consumer, and we are saying that consume the messages from the server, the Kafka server that is running on 1992 from the topic named first topic and start reading from the beginning. Now you see the consumer has consumed the message from the topic named first topic. Let's recap your first Kafka application. So we created Kafka topic on the Kafka broker, and we send a simple string message to that topic. Finally, we created a Kafka consumer to consume that message. And before that, we started the Zookeeper server, we started a Kafka broker and registered that Kafka broker on the Zookeeper server. That information is all there in the Kafka server properties, so you can have a look at that. Uh, and finally, we consume the message. In the next tutorial, we'll create a Spring Boot consumer, which is going to consume this message from the topic.